In the timeless annals of Greek mythology, few tales serve as a more stark warning against the peril of pride than the tragic fall of Icarus. Imagine a boy, gifted with wings, soaring towards the heavens, only to plummet from the sky, paying the ultimate price for his ambition. In the timeless annals of Greek mythology, few tales serve as a more stark warning against the peril of pride than the tragic fall of Icarus. Imagine a boy, gifted with wings, soaring towards the heavens, only to plummet from the sky, paying the ultimate price for his ambition. This is his story. Daedalus, the master inventor of ancient Greece, was a genius whose creations were marvels to behold. His most famous work, the labyrinth, was built for King Minos of Crete, winding maze designed to hold the monstrous Minotaur. Yet, this very same genius became his prison. King Minos, fearing Daedalus's knowledge would spread, betrayed him, locking the inventor and his young son, Icarus, away in a high tower on the island. Trapped with the land guarded and the sea patrolled, escape seemed impossible. But for a mind like Daedalus's, impossibility was merely a challenge. Gazing out at the endless sky, a daring idea took root. He looked at his son, his expression a mix of sorrow and steely resolve. If no path by land or sea would grant them freedom, then they would have to conquer the sky itself. And so, the great inventor set to work. Day after day, he gathered feathers dropped by seagulls and other birds that passed their tower. He arranged them meticulously from the smallest to the largest, creating a gentle, sweeping curve. With thread to bind the middle and soft beeswax to secure the base, Daedalus crafted two magnificent pairs of wings. They shimmered under the light, looking as though they were plucked from the shoulders of some great, mythical bird, a testament to his unparalleled skill of creation, ready to defy the very laws of nature. Before they took their momentous leap, Daedalus carefully fitted the smaller pair of wings to Icarus's shoulders. He looked his son in the eyes, his voice calm yet filled with an urgent gravity. "These wings, my son, are our key to freedom. But you must listen to me carefully. There is danger in both extremes. If you fly too low, the damp sea spray will soak the feathers, making them heavy and pulling you down. But if you fly too high, the searing heat of the sun will melt the wax that holds them together. You must stay on the middle path. Follow me closely and you will be safe." Icarus, trembling with excitement and the impatience of youth, nodded eagerly. "Yes, father, I understand," he exclaimed. "At last we will be free." The thought of soaring through the open air was too intoxicating to be tempered by caution. With their wings secured, father and son stood at the edge of the tower, the wind whipping around them. Taking a deep breath, they leaped into the vast open air. For a moment they fell. Then with powerful beats of their new limbs, they caught the wind and began to rise. Higher and higher they soared, leaving the stone walls of their Cretan prison far behind. Below them, the world unfolded like a map. Fishermen on the shore dropped their nets, their mouths agape. Shepherds tending their flocks on the hillsides paused, shielding their eyes to gaze at the incredible sight. To all who witnessed it, they were not men, but gods ascending to Olympus. The sheer joy of flight filled Icarus's heart, and he laughed, the sound carried away by the wind. "We are flying, father. The world is ours beneath the clouds." Daedalus smiled, his heart swelling with a mix of pride and fear. "Stay near me, Icarus," he called out, his voice tinged with caution. "Remember my warning." But the exhilaration was a potent drug. The sheer, unadulterated freedom of the sky went to the boy's head. He felt the wind rushing past him, the sun warming his face, and he was overwhelmed by a sense of power he had never known. Pride, like a subtle poison, began to whisper in his ear. He was no longer just Icarus, the son of an inventor. He was a conqueror of the sky, a being unbound by mortal limits. He glanced at his father, a small figure flying steadily below, and a defiant thought sparked in his mind. "Why should I obey his limits?" he thought, his heart pounding with exhilaration. "I can touch the very sun. Sky itself bows to me." Forgetting his father's words, he tilted his wings upward, climbing higher and higher, drawn to the golden orb like a moth to a flame. The air grew thinner, the heat more intense. And slowly, invisibly at first, the wax that held his freedom together began to soften. The first sign of disaster was small. A single downy feather detached from his wing and spiraled down into the blue abyss. Then another followed. The structure Daedalus had so painstakingly built began to fail. As the wax melted under the sun's relentless gaze, the feathers tore away in clumps. Icarus's smooth, powerful strokes became frantic, useless flaps. He flailed his arms, grasping at the empty air as he started to fall. Panic replaced his pride, and he cried out, his voice a thin, desperate plea. "Father, the sun it burns. Help me." He looked down, but his father was too far below, a helpless witness to his son's folly. It was too late. The boy plummeted through the vast, indifferent sky, his desperate cries lost to the roaring wind, till he struck the sea with a final, echoing splash. Daedalus heard his son's cry and looked up in horror, but all he saw was a scattering of feathers drifting on the wind. He circled the area desperately, his heart shattered, his voice breaking as he shouted into the uncaring expanse. "Icarus, my son, where are you? Return to me." But his calls were met only with the sound of the waves lapping against the shore. The sea, which had just swallowed his only child, gave back nothing but silence. The waters closed over the boy's body, and the life and light of Icarus were extinguished forever. From that day forward, the stretch of sea where he fell was named the Icarian Sea, a permanent monument to his tragic end. The Daedalus eventually reached the shore of Sicily, a free man, but a broken one, lost everything that mattered. The story of Icarus is so much more than a simple tale of flight and fall. It is a timeless lesson about hubris, the destructive arrogance of reaching too far, too fast, without wisdom. The wings were a miracle, a gift of genius, and a symbol of freedom, yet it was pride that turned that gift into a tragedy. The ancient Greeks passed down this story to remember a crucial truth. Ambition is a fire that can warm us, but it must be tempered with humility and wisdom. Otherwise, we risk being consumed by the very heights we so desperately seek to conquer. It is a reminder to respect our limits and to find the balance between our dreams and our reality. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through mythology. If you enjoyed this story, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more tales from the ancient world. See you next time.